Hey there, so let me ask you a question that I'll bet has probably been on your mind in some way recently. How motivated are you? If you are unsure of the answer, thought not very, or even got frustrated at the mention of this topic, then congratulations, you are among about 90% of all people who struggle with this. But why? Why do so many, and especially young people today, feel stuck, unmotivated in their work, relationships, and life as a whole? Have people just become lazy, unable to force themselves to take part in even the simplest of everyday activities, all because of those damn phones? Or is there a deeper reason this phenomenon has become so widespread? I wanted to dive into this important topic and give my personal view of what motivation means for people today, as well as give a nuanced perspective as to why society has become this way. So let's begin with another topic on everyone's minds, and that is loneliness. When I think about the sheer number of people on this earth, the ones you see on the streets every day, walking alone, I sometimes wonder how we ever got to this point as a species. Especially now that everyone's so connected through social media, it's hard to accept the fact that people nowadays feel lonelier than ever. And in the West, we have a prominent culture of individualism, so we shy away from relying on others because we're told that anything we can dream of, we can achieve on our own. We don't need help because help makes us weak and makes us reliant on things that we cannot control, like other people. And unfortunately, this mindset is also a major part of what is wrong with society today, in my opinion. Humans are social animals, after all. People in the past lived in small towns and villages where everyone knew each other, and though obviously they had other, I'd say, bigger problems, the sense of community and companionship between them kept them alive day by day, despite those other problems. And now, though, when the whole world is essentially one big community, we're told that success is purely personal, and what if that's what's making us give up? At the end of the day, people need other people to truly live their lives to the fullest because you can't really fix loneliness by yourself. Speaking of trying to fix loneliness by yourself, let's talk a bit about social media. Now, I won't tell you that social media is the devil and that it rots your brain because you've probably heard that enough from parents and old people and stuff. And you probably also recognize that to a certain extent there is some truth in that. But it's just entertainment after all, and there's no point in trying to convince people to stop enjoying it, especially because you're watching this video on a social media platform. However, the new meta of short form content is not only damaging in its own unique way, causing dropping attention spans and literal addiction, but has also exacerbated the negative social effects of social media in general. In the quest to conquer loneliness, we have turned to online communities to fill a void left behind by a lack of companionship and shared joy. Every day we log on, we see everyone having so much fun all the time, while our lives just seem ordinary by comparison. And everyone's feed is highly curated to each individual's own taste, as well as general popularity, and what rises to the top is content that exudes the most emotion in people, usually happiness. And through social media, we live a sort of collective experience of the world, so what is on social media dictates what it is that people feel. So when you inevitably start comparing your life to the lives of these other people online, where everything is constantly grand and entertaining and fun, any happiness and motivation that you might have had becomes just small and obsolete. And through the sheer amount of content we consume nowadays, this problem just keeps getting worse. Now, all that isn't even mentioning the state of today's world, and especially the economy. The standard work week that we've had for decades now is simply getting too much for people. And again, it's not because we're getting lazy, but considering the things I've already mentioned, along with the fact that salaries are just not keeping up with inflation and the price of goods and services at all, Many are just checking out because it just doesn't seem worth the effort. Grinding every single day for barely enough money to get you by and trying to coordinate that with school while also having even a couple of hours of free time for yourself is just so mentally draining. And adding on top of that, the state of the housing market makes the situation look even sadder. Boomers just a few decades ago, and even Gen X and millennials could buy a house on one income, but now that just simply is impossible. So young adults still living with their parents has become so common now that it's considered normal. All the while empty houses sit unused, just waiting to be bought by a rich person who already owns 5, as the rising masses of homeless people have to survive in tents and under bridges. Who else would look at these dead-end jobs and impossible living standards and not ask, why bother? Unfortunately, this is just one of many crises that society is experiencing. In a world where humanitarian disasters happen on the regular, climate change is quickly getting out of hand, and political and social division is the highest it's ever been in years. Yet what people are concerned about mostly is still the immediate problem of getting food on the table. It just really goes to show you that what we're seeing is the whole-scale failure of institutions to regulate this stuff. In school, we're told that we are living in the age of the culmination of all of humanity's efforts with the perfect system of capitalism that led us here. Yet what is becoming clear is that any system can collapse way more easily than anyone can ever expect, and hope of a better future can be dashed far more quickly than even that. That hopelessness, more than anything, is what kills motivation. Now, I'm sorry for the pessimistic tone of this video and all I've talked about, but this has just been on my mind a lot recently, and I'm sure it has been for you too. There is no simple solution for any of these problems, and all I can tell you is what has helped me to stay motivated in these troubled times. The solution isn't to just grind harder, as the red pill guys would say, but to build purpose, and for that you have to ask yourself, what do I want? What people online want and what makes them happy may influence your own perspective, but log out for a few hours a day and really be with yourself. And your true goals and needs, at least from what I've noticed, they tend to come out on their own in that time. And instead of being online all the time, nurture real-world communities and relationships. Go out with friends and feel the human experience with your own skin. You may not be able to change the world on your own, but collectively it can be a reality. So don't stay complacent. If you want to see change, go out and protest, voice your opinion, and with everyone together, things may actually change. But what do you think, though? I'd love to hear your opinion in the comments, and yeah, that's about it from me. See ya.